Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for John Wick Chapter 2. So John Wick Chapter 2 is the sequel to the 2014 hit John Wick. This film took a lot of people by surprise. It was Keanu Reeves just trying to be in another action film. A lot of people thought it would just be okay, but nothing really else. But it sort of started to take on a cult following, and a lot of people love it now. So of course they want to make a sequel. So this sequel revolves around the character John Wick, who comes out of retirement yet again to try to fight off what's going on. I don't want to give too much away because they really didn't give too much away in the trailers, and though the plot is very thin and it's mostly just revolving around the action, if I display the plot the way that the trailers displayed it, I think that you'll enjoy it a lot more. So the original John Wick I do enjoy quite a bit. I think it's a very well done movie, it has some great action, but I don't think it's as great as this sequel. So John Wick Chapter 2 is a movie that I was actually really surprised by. It had really good reviews coming out, but actually I thought that this film was better than the reviews. John Wick Chapter 2 is a film I absolutely loved. It's got everything from the first John Wick and more. They set up the paranoia of John Wick yet again so well. And the first one, they mentioned that he's the man that you sent to kill the boogeyman. And, you know, he's mentioned to be like the boogeyman. He's this really scary guy. And they keep up that paranoia. It's, you know, if John Wick is coming after you, you are scared. This makes it so that when he's fighting people, it's not like, oh, this is beyond implausibility, because he's set up as this guy that can do these insane things, and it doesn't feel unrealistic. That's something I really enjoy about these two movies, is that they're both not overly implausible. Sure, there are fun action movies that go over the top and just are insane with their action, but when a film like this, like John Wick and John Wick Chapter 2, they are both able to not go beyond implausibility, but still create action that is very fun to watch, that is very well done, and very, very well shot. I know you expected me to say this when you clicked on the review, and I know that every single other reviewer has said this, but I have to say it, the action and the choreography in this film is stunning. They don't try to pan away from things. They don't try to have quick cuts of characters punching each other. I mean, like during the action sequences, a fight between a person has 2 or 3 cuts, not 15. So you can actually see what's going on, and it's really well done choreography. Keanu Reeves decided to do a lot of his own stunts in this movie, and it shows because when he's fighting a lot of people, it looks very realistic. It hardly ever looks fake, and the way that it's done is just so entertaining. They also bring in a lot of settings. They have the cliched, you've seen it before, the cliched, a lot of mirrors around you action type scene, but they do it in a different way that feels very fresh and unique. Even though we've seen it on screen before, it feels very, very fresh. And it's also not over-stylized. They don't try to have these action scenes that are insane where John Wick takes on 15 people at a time. At most, John Wick takes on 3 or 4 or maybe 5 people at a time in this movie, but it's never like he's fighting 15 guys and they're all just staring at him with the gun like, I don't know what to do. Instead, they have it so that everyone is constantly trying to go for John Wick. He's just such a smart, precise guy that he's able to do it. The editing could have been that there are tons of people coming after him and he's just, you know, through very quick shots, he's going underneath and hitting them down and that kind of stuff. But instead they decide to have these long away shots. They aren't close up, they hardly ever are. They're they're either medium shots or long shots. And it's just fantastic to see the action actually shown instead of just with you done by a shaky cam and quick editing so that you can hardly tell what's going on. The cinematography also just really very well encapsulates what's going on. The cinematography is not mind-blowing, it's not anything stunning, but the way that it goes with the action scenes is just very, very well done. The action also never feels stale. It feels very fresh and new. They're constantly going to new places, having different types of action, having different ways that John Wick is killing people, with different weapons or with different things. It's incredible to see on screen. I feel like every action movie that we get these days is so watered down, but it's nice to see an action film that isn't watered down at all, and yeah, you get the full entertainment out of it. Something else this film does really, really well is that it never stops to tell a joke. Too many action films have it so that they'll stop in the middle of an action scene to have a joke, but in this one they never have that. The action and the humor go hand in hand. They fit together well, and it's like it takes a lot of talent to do that. It's hard to incorporate jokes in what's going on without stopping to tell the joke, and they never do that. They never have it so that you get a scene where John Wick is stopping and he's looking at his watch, or you never get it so that he's stopping to saying a one-liner. It fits with the action scene and it fits with what's going on. And also, this film never lost steam. Unlike the first one, which I thought started to lose steam at the end, this one never loses steam. It's constant, it's fast, and though it's 2 hours, it goes by in an hour and 30 minutes. And for the fast-paced action movie that this is, that is a huge compliment. Now, I do definitely have some issues with John Wick. One is that the dialogue is not very well written, and that's fine from an action-type movie such as this, but when they have scenes that's purely revolving around dialogue, they sort of start to drag the film down and they actually feel quite uninteresting. In the first one, they had far more scenes than in this one, and they definitely improved upon that, but there are a couple scenes in this film that really had me lose my interest, because a lot of them were just characters talking to each other, and the dialogue was completely uninteresting. It wasn't involving. I didn't care about what the two characters were talking about or discussing, so the scenes just kept on dragging down the movie. This does not include the scenes with the banter, because there's a lot of really good banter in this movie between two people, but when they try to have like these deep conversations, it really doesn't work. And also, one of my biggest movie pet peeves is when two characters will be talking and in the middle they'll switch to speaking another language. It doesn't happen too often, but when it does, it was very annoying and it did take me out of the movie. However, John Wick Chapter 2 surprised me. I absolutely love this movie. The action and the choreography are just completely stunning. I would not mind seeing this movie again and again and again. And I didn't mention it, but the ending was so well done. I was on the edge of my seat. I was prepared for something huge to happen, and then it ends. And though it felt like I was sort of cut off, the way that it ends left so much excitement inside of me, and I came out of the theater just being so happy, and that's all that John Wick Chapter 2 really needed to do. It was a well-made, fun action movie. You know, a lot of action movies today, a lot of them are really, really bad because they don't show the action, but John Wick is definitely an exception. I cannot wait for Chapter 3, which hopefully is coming, and I really enjoyed this movie. I cannot say enough that you should definitely go see this. Lego Batman is good, and, you know, Split is pretty good, but besides that, we've had a lot of bad movies recently, and John Wick Chapter 2 is absolutely my favorite movie of 2017 so far, and it wouldn't surprise me if it continues to be my favorite for the next couple months. I give John Wick Chapter 2 an 8 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for John Wick Chapter 2. What are your thoughts on this film? Comment in the comment section below, and let me know. I am Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.